Welcome back to this month's Together We Can Action Items. My name is Rob Crane. I'm a personal injury attorney in Dallas, Texas, and along with Pastor Richie Butler, we are co-founders of Together We Can. This month, we look at a couple of January recognitions and celebrations. First, the Emancipation Proclamation was originally signed on January 1, 1863 by President Abraham Lincoln, and of course, our annual recognition of Dr. Martin Luther King, and one of the most important figures in American history. We look at his lessons that are timeless. But as to the Emancipation Proclamation, it's always a good history lesson to get back into what actually was happening at the time. And President Lincoln was utilizing what few tools he had in his presidential toolbox. This proclamation was primarily a policy statement to be carried out by his generals in the field, as he could not just pass law on his own. He would need more branches of the government. So this was limited to a wartime tactic of trying to bring the southern states back to the Union, but also, of course, the powerful statement of abolishing slavery, even though limited to those southern states involved in the war. And again, from a time perspective, his declaration would only have been relevant during wartime. But as we learn with bold and historical steps, such as the Emancipation Proclamation, it was a bomb that went off that was changing the world forever and would ultimately lead to the 13th Amendment that was ratified in late 1865, which legally abolished slavery in the United States. So we look at the Emancipation Proclamation, we look at the struggle that President Lincoln went through in whether or not to sign this important, powerful document, and it was not a foregone conclusion. It was something that went up until that night before and into the day on January 1. And we get to step back and appreciate a little bit of what he was thinking and where he was coming from. And we do also look at his public statements in regards to the issues surrounding race. And as we do with history, we don't judge the actors in history. We look at history in the eye, and we'll never know for sure what is necessarily in the heart of each and every person in our past, especially when we're talking about politicians that are oftentimes dealing with political expediency issues and so forth. Not making any excuses, just the reality of the time and people trying to accomplish what they can accomplish in the environment that they're in. So we learn a lot about where President Lincoln was at the moment and what he was thinking. And then the step that he took, I don't think even he foresaw the powerful, positive ramifications and ultimate legal change forever through the 13th Amendment, which we'll study in coming months. So the Emancipation Proclamation, one of our great steps forward in this country when it comes to issues of race. As we talk about frequently, our country faces our problems. We don't always get it right. We oftentimes take a couple of steps forward and a step or two back, but we need to celebrate those great steps forward, and the Emancipation Proclamation is certainly one of those that we should learn from for its lessons in the past and going forward. Likewise, Dr. Martin Luther King gave us so many wonderful life's lessons, and we have really a treat that is not well viewed, a speech that he gave during a very busy time in his life where he was in between engagements. During a school day, he went by and spoke to students at Barrett Junior High School in Philadelphia on October 26, 1967, titled, "What is Your Life's Blueprint?" And he is obviously directing these statements and comments to these students and Black Americans in particular, but his lessons are applicable to all of us in 1967 as well as today. and we are all so very grateful for his leadership, his eloquence, and his wisdom. Just a fearless man, and somebody that this country will always owe a great deal of gratitude. We hope you enjoy those contributions. We also will have our In Their Shoes segment that is supplied by a friend and wonderful leader, attorney, Sean Brown in Texas, and I think you will enjoy her submission this month as well. So we hope you enjoy the monthly action items, and we look forward to visiting with you next month.